Okay, alright, okay. Alright. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you something incredible. The gaming industry nowadays is filled with lies and falsities and just evil, it seems. Glute, microtransactions, loot, EA Sport. It's disconcerting and it makes me sad. Games nowadays seem to have an unending track record of setting expectations that can never be fulfilled. The trailers are great. Everyone gets really excited. Halo Infinite.
Threats incoming!
Your team scored.
Starfield looked good. Not that good of a game.
How can you possibly show your face?
I am glad to see that you are safe.
It's like, it's fun, it's okay, but it feels soulless, right? It feels just, there's a big problem out there. I don't know if it's lazy devs. I'm not actively involved in game development, nor have I ever been in my entire life, I swear. There's features that never get implemented. There's expectations, and it's a flip of the coin as to whether or not those expectations will be delivered upon and met. A few notable examples over the last 5, 6, 7 years of gaming would be Cyberpunk, a massive example. No Man's Sky. And Halo Infinite. Okay? All games that had a crazy amount of hype and potential that turned out to be shit. And to be fair, they're all good now. Cyberpunk, great. No Man's Sky, maybe the greatest 360 of all time in gaming. And Halo Infinite is pretty fun. They just added King of the Hill to Firefight. Okay, that's fun. Now, the setting expectation and failure to deliver aspect is absolutely the case with a certain game called The Day Before.
Oh, what is this?
I walked right past this and didn't even notice. Just so focused.
And then the fallout from that release causing a lot of massive problems. This is the biggest scandal in gaming, I think, ever, honestly. Except for all the stuff that happened at Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard is the most evil video game company ever. And not because their games are shitty, you know, they made Overwatch and that's a crime against humanity, sure. But a couple months ago, it was revealed of the horrifying workplace culture and the absolutely revolting things that happened there.
And Gamergate. In order to fully understand the scope of this travesty, we have to go back to January of 2021, 2 years ago. The Day Before was revealed with a trailer that has now been deleted off of their YouTube channel, but IGN has preserved it.
Welcome to the short gameplay demonstration trailer for The Day Before.
The trailer was beautiful. It showcased an incredible, detailed world. It looked like The Division meets Last of Us with some goofy and funny, awkward proximity chat between two players on display. It looked great. The game looked incredible.
Great, man. Awesome.
That's high expectations. That game looks awesome. And then they had 2 years to improve it, even beyond just this little MVP thing that they're showing off in the trailer. This is awesome. This is going to be great. Well, people were hyped. IGN continued to post tons of video clips leading up to the eventual release of this game planned for December of 2023. We would go to their channel, but they deleted everything from their channel because you'll find out why. This is a bad scenario. This is the absolute worst possible scenario a game development company can get itself into. I mean, it's barren. Fantastic Studios, or whatever the fuck they're called. You probably have guessed by now, the journey ends with absolute and total destruction. I mean, pure just annihilation, vaporization of a game development company. It all started with an awesome trailer.
All right. I have found a great cowboy hat. Tell her everything's all right. And there aren't any more guns in the valley.
Easy, cowboy.
So how do we get from there to here, where we're at now? From the beginning of the journey of Day Before, there was cause for concern for many interested gamers. By the way, this game was one of the most wishlisted games on Steam of all time. The main thing delays. The game was delayed so many times that people began to question if it was even real. The Day Before got its first planned release date in October of 2021 that was planned for June 21st, 2022. In May of 2022, it was delayed again, a month before the supposed release. The reasoning behind this was the fact that they wanted to go from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5, and they moved the release to March 1st, 2023. So basically putting an entire year on just to swap engines. So we move ahead, and in January of 2023, the game company Fantastic had a terrible month, and the game was delayed for another 9 months following a trademark issue. There was a dispute with a trademark from a Korean calendar app that used the same name. This resulted in the game being pulled from Steam and some of their videos being taken down as well. In February of this year, you can tell people were not happy. You guys have really no idea what you are doing, are you? Whatever that means. I appreciate the promotional email I received, but this is so much drama almost on a weekly basis. Truly never seen something like this before. Let's hope the ship can still be turned around. The game does look really fun, and I'm sad that it's never going to exist.
Use some help now.
The things are about to get heated.
Over here.
Trademark disputes lasted for quite some time, and at one point the game was looking at changing their name to Day World, which is a really bad name. Day World. What the hell does Day World mean? Turns out Day World was also being used. I mean, how the fuck? Troubled Survivor MMO The Day Before could run from one trademark dispute right into another. So now, you know by what's happened recently that this didn't end up being the case. They got to keep the name as The Day Before. Really what we learned from that is that the game company had no fucking idea what it was doing at all from the very beginning. Big videos started coming out about the situation, such as Penguin Zero's huge fake game scam.
But it seems like the reality is the game is inspired by Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo, because it doesn't actually exist. At least that's the leading theory.
People started to think that this game was fake and just didn't exist as recently as like 10, 11 months ago. Even the lead Discord mod for the development company had never seen any gameplay and didn't know if the game was even real, and they just had no idea. They weren't even sure. Even the inside men. Those who wonder if the game is real. I'm wondering the same right now as well. Nobody saw the gameplay. Now that could be explained via NDA. That kind of makes sense, right? Like why the fuck would a Discord mod, they're not even paid. Usually they're not even paid. I certainly don't pay mine. Another glaring red flag in the development cycle of The Day Before came in June 2022 when Well Played, a publication, released an article about the developers' call for volunteers to help with their projects. Not just The Day Before, but all of their projects. Now, personally, I don't believe that there's anything wrong with a volunteer on a project as long as that work is eventually paid for in some form. It's pretty common for there to be people who work for sweat equity under a guarantee that they will be paid for their time at some point when funding's achieved. That's how businesses run. In game development, I know it's very common with indie companies, but this specifically is a AAA sized project with a massive amount of eyes and excitement, and a development company that reported almost $2.5 million of revenue in the year 2022. It seems like they call everyone who works for them volunteers because it's like a funny little Roman thing. We don't want people working for us without wanting to work for us. We only want people to work for us who want to work for us, which means we'll call them volunteers, but also we'll have actual people who we don't pay ever do stuff instead of improving our team, because the work that is done by the team we pay isn't that good, and we'll have volunteers, supporters of the brand, do it for free. By that we mean children on Discord. It is a bit of an area of gray for sure in the space of the internet, content creation and content including games, music, art, etc. A lot of people go unpaid. Generally speaking, churches have volunteers, homeless shelters have volunteers, cults have volunteers a lot of the time, but AAA game studios, they don't, because they make a lot of money, and that's how that works. Now, that does not go for small companies, indie companies. If you're a small startup or something and you're working on some kind of passion project, for example, even making mods for Bethesda, I think modders should be paid by Bethesda actually, because they make the games actually fun. But like a small team, whatever, if you can get your friends together, a like-minded group of individuals, and then eventually you get to the place where you can make money, then that's totally cool. In my opinion, I don't know if I'm just a fucking freak. That is something that people were upset with him about though, and that makes sense because this appears to be a AAA game, and the development company making the AAA game makes over $2 million in revenue in a year. So that's a lot of money. Another glaring red flag: accusations of plagiarism. The accusations thrown at the day before are basically them copying other games in their marketing. Now, to be fair, memes do count as copying. For example, the GTA 6 announcement image that went viral with all these different companies doing it. But that's funny. That's cool, right? There's like, you know, you can get away with shit even if it's like objectively wrong and bad and illegal and plagiarism, etc. Fantastic copied the GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 trailers word for word, essentially.
Combat remains deep and engaging at all times.
Make combat deep and engaging at all times.
Plus, the town is called Woodbury, which is the name of the town that the governor leads in the season 3 of Walking the Dead's. Less egregious example, but still an interesting note. Their trailer was pretty solid. I mean, they did just rip off one of the greatest game development companies of all time, Rockstar Games. Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer.
Each weapon boasts unique characteristics, as well as realistic reload and recoil mechanics.
Each weapon has unique characteristics, with realistic reload and recoil.
And unfortunately, the only other awesome part from the gameplay trailer was the character's sculpted ass, which actually did make its way into the game when it released recently. So we fast forward to the release just a few days ago in 2023, the day before released. Expectations are high. No, they're not. And people are excited to finally play. No, they're not. They're excited to watch the train derail.
Welcome to the next generation of post-apocalyptic MMO open-world survival games like never before.
Oh, wow. This looks fun.
Oh my god, what? Whoa. Not only are the servers hacked, this guy's enabled big head mode with black wings and tiny body.
Damn, big head mode, tiny wing, black wing body. That's fucking awesome. I've been waiting for them to add that to a popular MMO with zombies in it. The game is terrible, and honestly, this is the worst launch of a video game, AAA or not, that I have ever seen. Worse than No Man's Sky, worse than Fallout 76, worse than Cyberpunk, worse than Halo Infinite. The live streams and videos showing first impressions of the game, it's 80% bugs. It's fucking crazy. The amount of repetition of bugs, I haven't seen that many since Cyberpunk.
Make the game louder, chat. I don't want to touch nothing, man. Oh, no!
I haven't seen that many bugs since I looked under my mattress and saw all the bugs under it. IGN themselves, the most reputable source of gaming news, posted the first 22 minutes of gameplay and they glitched through the wall and fell out of the fucking map. I mean, you can't make this shit. IGN, by the way, hyped the game up big time. You gotta remember that. IGN loved this game. I think that's where all the money was going for the day before, was going to hyping the game up, not paying the employees that are making the game. That's awesome. The game is so terrible, there's just compilations of people failing to get past the first mission.
What the fuck? Dude, what if this game's actually kind of good, guys? I swear it might be kind of good somehow. I don't know how, but I swear it might be. I might be
The car explosions look great. I don't even know how you do this in Unreal. How the fuck is it possible to have this many bugs? There's quite literally thousands of bugs and issues with this game. Some of them are funny though, at least, which is cool.
What is this?
Plus, the core mechanics of Day Before do not match up to their claims that they made of it being an open world MMO. In reality, it's just a pathetic amount of minimum features. You have to eat and drink, gather supplies, there's PvE, PvP. It's an extraction shooter like Tarkov, except a fucking billion times worse.
You're gonna feel real stupid when I beat you to death with this pickaxe.
Oh, and by the way, you can just duplicate your money once you get your first dollar.
Hey, what's up guys? Today I will show you how to do money easily. So first you want to do is you want to stack some money, and you can find inside the raid, inside cash registers. What you do is you split the cash in one singular, and then if you see it when you sell it, it goes into a stack of 2 and the traders buy back. That means you did it. Then you can sell your full stack, so that gets duped.
So the gameplay sucks. We know that. That expectation fell flat. What about the graphics? There's all this hype. The game's the first of its kind in the RTX market. If you compare the footage of 2021, this game, to 2023, you can see a catastrophic downgrade.
Shall we split up?
Yep.
I'll find out what's in the skyscraper.
Okay, and I'll look around here.
Listen up. This is Woodbury Survivor Colony speaking. If you can hear this message, it means that we have opened our doors for new survivors. We can give you food and shelter and ensure your safety.
I mean, what the fuck is this? The game is not as impressive as it was in 2021. It looked beautiful back in 2021. So we got overhyped graphical promises that just never show up when the game is finally released. And now, the best part of this whole thing. The game is flipped assets. What that means is you take an engine like Unreal or Unity and you can go to public stores and you can find assets that other people made, buy them, and put them in your game. It is generally quite frowned upon to sell a game that is made entirely of other people's work. People don't like it for good reason, okay? You can make a demo, you can make an MVP, you can test something with other people's work. It's the fastest way to do it. Unreal has blueprints, Unity has a massive store. It's classic. But a AAA game like this with flipped assets is fucking absurd. This fella on Twitter said, so what? Other people's work? It's 98% assets from the UE store, LMAO. And Fantastic, the dev behind the game, responded and said, you flip the numbers, you can check. This is entirely our work. And then they got community noted. This was, in fact, not entirely their work. And it is a long-ass Reddit post just destroying them. Oh, by the way, the day before Reddit is so fucking funny. Look at this. He's got a clown. It's the main guy. It's the main guy. Here's the file dump. Oh, wow. Anybody want to make the day before? Here's a list of all the assets you can use to make the day before. You just have to find a bunch of volunteers to put that together and then get IGN to hype the game up and sell it for $60. Even back in 2022, Prop House, a storefront in Unreal that makes a bunch of props for people to use, they quote tweeted the Fantastic hashtag the day before. I think I can spot some things right there. Nice work. They're using their stuff, right? It's pretty chill. It's okay, right? Well, when the game makes $10 million and you buy the residential houses for $110, I feel like that's not that great. Once again, it is completely normal for a company or studio to use assets in their games, MVPs, demos, whatever it is, or, get specific explicit permission from the creators of these assets. Hey, like Prop House, they're cool with it, right? But just making a game and then saying that you made the game and that you didn't actually flip any assets and then selling that for a lot of money, that's an issue, to be honest. By the way, the asset flip was posted on the community page for the day before on Steam, but it was deleted by the cronies running it, I assume. They're just deleting evidence of what they'd done. Given all this, you can see why this game failed. The gameplay is terrible when you're shooting.
I can't emphasize enough how bad the shooting feels in this game. It's slow, it feels desynchronized, it's really unbelievable. Like, look at this stuff. This is how shooting looks like and feels in this game.
The driving is clunky, there's frame drops, the dialogue is fucking absurd and stupid.
Every time the game lags, there's a player near you.
In this economy, taking everything that's not bolted down. What can I say? They see me rolling, they hate it.
The gunplay, once again, horrible. It's weak. Fuck? There's no feedback. Bruh. You got the big head glitch. There's no zombies in the game. The world is dead. It's a half-baked, just absolute train wreck of a video game. Plus, after launch, they considered adding melee and vaulting to the game because it didn't have melee or vaulting. I'm sure there's an Unreal blueprint for that you could probably use, fellas. They had over 2 years to work on the game. Many years. They had a playable game in 2021, it looked like. I mean, unless that's just a fucking Source filmmaker thing.
Completing various community tasks also presents an opportunity to earn Woodbury coins.
Well, who do I see here? How's it going, my friends?
Woodbury coins can be exchanged for ammo.
And by God, people were incredibly angry when this game launched. Holy shit. Droves of people started requesting refunds. 21,000 overwhelmingly negative reviews. The game's only been out for a week now. What the fuck? And the game, if you could even call it that, for $39.99 in the US at least, was pulled completely from the Steam store. You can no longer buy this game. Their Twitter even announced that they were issuing refunds and helping people get their money back no matter playtime. This is the ultimate negative scenario. And lo and behold, 4 days after the launch of the game, Fantastic, the greatest video game development studio ever in the entire world through all history, shut down. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially, and we whacked the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners, not employees, and not refunds either. It is important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of the day before. There were no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game. At the moment, the future of the day before and Pop Night is unknown, but the servers will remain operational. We apologize if we didn't meet your expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately, we miscalculated our capabilities. Creating games is an incredibly challenging endeavor. It doesn't seem that hard to not do that, though, to be honest. By the way, Mytona is the publisher, and they're apparently in contact with Fantastic regarding the future of the game, and they're trying to issue refunds because this is a giant fucking stink fest. And this whole thing to me feels massively suspicious and like a scam from the very beginning, because how can you release a demo or a trailer that's so obviously catered towards a specific audience and so polished and beautiful? I mean, that game, I got hyped for it. It looked so good. And then for all this nonsense to happen and the game finally be released, and there's 40,000 people playing the game at one point. That's the peak. And at $40 a copy, that's $1.6 million from just the peak players at one time. I'm sure there's many more, probably 50% more, maybe 100% more, maybe even more who bought the game and just didn't play it. I just feel like this needs to be investigated further by someone. I'm not sure. Not me. I don't really care that much. A leaked message supposedly from the co-founder of Fantastic, this fella named Edward, not even going to try to pronounce his last name. He reported that 201,000 copies were sold and just under 92,000 were refunded. So if that's true, they made $4.5 million and still shut the studio down after only 4 days. Now, I don't know if that's wrong, if they gave more people refunds, but that's almost half of everyone. It's just bad. It's a massive shitstorm. And oh, what do they think about it? What does Fantastic think about this? Aside from shutting down their studio, what is their emotional response to this? This fella named Kuipershot said on Twitter, "Unbelievable that you guys hyped this game up so much and this is the end result. You guys are an absolute disgrace to the video game industry." Fantastic said, "This was our first big experience. Shit happens." I guess the company's shutting down though, so who the fuck cares about good PR? Days before the launch of the game, they had a message addressing their critics and haters, basically saying that they would continue improving the game and adding content forever. Apparently they only meant for 4 days because the studio's gone. And that's the end of the day before. But the shenanigans don't stop there. They got absolutely roasted and clowned on. I mean, the game is essentially a scam. The whole marketing, it didn't make any sense. It's bad business all around. DayZ, the closest comparable game made by Bohemia Interactive, a arguably fun game, released a statement structured exactly like Fantastic's statement, and they just clowned on them entirely. It's crazy. Today, want to primarily celebrate, for no reason at all, the remarkable 10th anniversary of DayZ. It is with immense gratitude we commemorate a decade of passion, creativity, and the unwavering support of our incredible community. DayZ also released a standalone version of their game that was a gigantic buggy mess, but they sold it with this thing on it. They told people not to buy the game. "We strongly advise you not to buy the game and play it at this stage unless you clearly understand what early access means and are interested in participating in the ongoing development cycle." I didn't read that. I bought it and I never played it ever again. Their Discord is even a fucking bigger mess. People are calling it a scam. Voice Mod clowned on them. Even the head mod said it's not worth buying the game. At least he's honest. The game is being hailed as the worst game of all time and a massive scam. Rest in peace, game. The day before is a catastrophe in the world of gaming, up there with the greats like Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, and Halo Infinite. The other two, Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky, took criticism and created a beautiful, fun piece of art that will be remembered for generations to come. Honestly, No Man's Sky, one of the biggest dubs in gaming history. That game is fucking great now. It is so good and worth the money. So, I mean, so much so. I hope there's going to be a lot of cool titles that drop in 2024, the day before fucking fucked up and wasted everybody's time. Let it serve an example of what not to do.